Perimeter and area of composite shapes, example number 1A. So before you start this question, you want to make sure that you have your formula sheet that was included in your package. Our question says determine the perimeter and area of each of the following shapes. And we are going to do the first shape, which looks like a giant letter T. So to calculate perimeter and to calculate the area, you will notice that that shape is not any one single shape on my formula sheet. So this is two or more shapes that were combined together to make this. So perimeter, when I'm doing perimeter is just the distance around the outside of our shape. So all I'm going to do is add up all of my outside edges together to calculate the perimeter. Now, sometimes you will have to calculate what some of those missing sides are before you can do your perimeter, which is what we're about to do. So when I look at this diagram, I notice that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 outside edges, but only 3 of them are labeled. So I need to come up with what the other 5 are. So I do notice that some of the sides have these little tick marks on them, and sides that are the same length will have the same number of tick marks. So this side here says it's 2.9 meters, and then this one has the same number of tick marks, which means it is also 2.9 meters. And there's another one down here, which is also 2.9 meters. There's ones that have 2 tick marks. They're marked as 2.2 meters. There's another one of those on this side, which is 2.2 meters. And then this one has 3 tick marks, and it is marked as being 7.3 meters, which means this side, which has the same number of markings, is also 7.3 meters. Now that means I now have 7 of my sides labeled, and I'm just missing the one at the top. Now the one at the top is made up of lots of little pieces. So there's one piece that matches the 2.9, and there's one piece here that matches the 2.9 below it, and the middle piece matches the 2.9 below that. So I'm just going to add 2.9 plus 2.9 plus 2.9, or 2.9 times 3. Oops, let's try that again. 2.9 plus 2.9 plus 2.9, or like I said, 2.9 times 3. So this whole side is 8.7 meters. Okay, so when I go to calculate the perimeter, I'm just going to add all of the sides together. And since I don't really have a formula from the formula sheet, I'm going to make up my own formula. So this has 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. So I'm just going to make up a formula that uses 8 letters. So I'm going to do A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G plus H. And then I'm just going to call each of these sides A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. All right, so when I do A, I'm not going to do the 3 individual 2.9s. I'm just going to do 8.7. So my perimeter is 8.7 plus 2.2 plus 2.9 plus 7.3 plus 2.9 plus 7.3 plus 2.9 plus 2.2, and I think that's it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 sides. They're all accounted for. You could, because there are sides that are the same, you could have done 2.2 times 2 plus 2.9 times 3 plus 7.3 times 2, and you could do it that way. I just added them all together. So I'm going to try to do that on my calculator. I'm going to try really hard not to miss any sides. So 8.7 plus 2.2 plus 2.9 plus 7.3 plus 2.9 plus 7.3 plus 2.9 plus 2.2 gives me 36.4. So the perimeter is 36.4, and these were all labeled in meters. So it is 36.4 meters. Now, perimeter, all you have to do, add up all your outside edges. Area I need to find the area on the inside. And in order to do that, we're going to take our shape and we're going to try to cut it into shapes that we recognize. So I notice that if I cut it right here, this shape becomes two rectangles. There's a big rectangle on the top and there's a smaller rectangle on the bottom. So I'm going to call this one number 1 and this one number 2. So I'm going to calculate the areas of those two rectangles and then just add them together. So we can make one formula where we put both areas together, or I can calculate each area separately and then add the two of them together. So I think I'm going to do them separately. I'm going to start with the area of the rectangle on the top. So according to my formula sheet, the area of a rectangle is length times width. So one of the sides is the length, the other side is the width. So if I take a look at this top rectangle, I'm going to do area 1 is length times width. Now the length of this shape I believe is 8.7, and the width of this shape would be 2.2. So I'm going to use my calculator to help me do that. 8.7 times 2.2 is 19.14. So the area of the first shape is 19.14 meters. And because I multiplied meters times meters, it's meters squared. All right, the second rectangle, I'm going to call that area 2. It is also a rectangle, so it's length times width. The length of this one, the longer side I believe is 7.3. And the width is 2.9. I'm going to multiply those together. So 7.3 times 2.9 gives me 21.17 meters squared. And then I'm going to take those two to get my final area and add them together. So I'm going to do 19.14 plus 21.17. And I get a grand total area of 40.31 meters squared. Now, I'm going to draw a box around that one to draw attention to the fact that it is my final answer because there were so many answers there on the page. You can watch the next video if you want to find out how to do part 1B.